Сегодня продолжим прохождение игры Enderal Forgotten Stories Special Edition. И будем искать информацию, точнее разместим информацию. Разместим тарелки, которые помогут пошпионить за неримцами. И приступим. В прошлый раз мы нашли поезд, наконец-то. Вроде как завели его полностью, и все должно быть хорошо. Прошу прощения за отсутствие звука во время новостного дайджеста. Ознакомиться можно будет в Вконтакте, Facebook, Twitter. Ссылки в описании к трансляции есть. Что ж, присядем. Поехали, да?
If being a merc doesn't work out in the long run, maybe I'll ask the Order to hire me as an expert on Pyrean railways. But no guarantee this thing won't drive us right into the next abyss. Anyway, I guess even with this thing, it should be a while till we arrive. Let's make ourselves comfortable. Sorry for the drama back there at the house. I guess I just didn't know what to make of the situation.
Как и я.
I figure all of this is just wrong. But I'm repeating myself. If the High Ones were planning to confuse us, they definitely succeeded. We really should tell the Grand Master about this, and about what happened to Constantine. Still, we can't allow this to get inside our heads too much. What matters right now is the mission. And at least it stays exciting. Two daring adventurers who have gotten themselves into something they don't even remotely understand are plundering ancient ruins in search of treasure. Don't laugh, but this reminds me a little of my past, of my childhood.
Как это?
Not the part including mysterious corpses and crazed mages, of course. My sister and I, when we were young, we always used to go exploring the caves near our manor. Father always gave us a good scolding when he got wind of it. But of course that didn't keep us from doing it again.
У тебя есть сестра? Не знал об этом.
Right. Because I never told you. Adila and I are not exactly close these days anyway. Probably because we lost our bond somehow after our father died.
Твой отец умер, я так понимаю, преждевременно.
Yes, he did. Together with my siblings. Actually, Adila and I are the only surviving dWayfers. All the others were murdered.
Мне жаль.
No need to be. But I appreciate the thought, so thanks. In a sad way, a part of me is actually glad everything happened the way it did back then. It made me into a man, and it showed me what kind of characteristics have a tendency to drastically shorten one's life.
Например?
Stubbornness. My father was a judge in the tribunal, you know. He was a hard man, who at least, after our mother died while giving birth to Adila, lived for only one thing. His principles. Justice knows no compromise. That was his great creed. No matter who stood before him in court, my father treated them all the same. Damien dWayfer, the epitome of justice.
Похоже, у него был радикальный взгляд на вещи.
Yes, an extreme attitude for an extreme man. One day, the son of a highly regarded Archer Sublime stood before the 12 judges of the court. Valenzio Duran. He had murdered 2 whores, made them happy, as he called it, and it was obvious that he didn't feel so much as a hint of remorse. You know those kind of people. The ones who think that money and power entitle them to anything they want.
Ну да. Представляю, как это закончится.
Of course you can. 11 of the 12 judges voted for a verdict of not guilty. Because they knew Valenzio's father was influential within the Relata. Only my father, of course, remained unshaken. 1 week later, our manor was robbed by 4 masked men who killed everyone. Servants, guards, my 2 older brothers, all of them. Officially, they were bandits, who just happened to be running around with blades made of shadow steel. My sister and I only survived because we had snuck out for one of our expeditions. Ironic, isn't it?
Это ужасно.
Horrible? None of this is horrible. It was the only logical consequence of my father's actions. And what good did it do in the end? None. As we speak, Valenzio's enjoying himself in some brothel, with 2 whores and a bowl of grapes. But you see, there's no point in being angry about this. And do you know why? Because this is just how the world works. There's no divine justice, no system through which it's decided who lives and who dies. There are decisions and there are consequences. That's it. This is also why there's absolutely no point in fighting for ideals, the greater good, or whatever else you want to call it. First of all, because no one will thank you for it, and second, because people are stupid. That's the one universal rule that there is to this world. No matter how much you try to accomplish something, in the end, stupid people will destroy all you've achieved with no more than a snap of their fingers. Fight for the moment, and the moment only. Because unlike everything else, you can be certain of its truth.
Так ты считаешь, что твой отец должен был ничего не делать?
No, but if he had wanted Valenzio to die so badly, there would have been other ways. Poison, an accident, a hired killer, just a hint of common sense. That's all he would have needed. But of course, none of that would have conformed to his sacred principles. Adela and I were still young when all this happened. A friendly family took us in, and my sister joined the Order of the Apothecary in the Frostcliff Mountains. But since then, we haven't been able to speak to one another. She raised a wall of ice around herself, so to speak, and fled into old family books and memories. But anyway, enough about me. You're an orphan too, aren't you? How come? You never told me about that.
Это долгая история. С чего начать?
You told me that the Creator's temple in Ostian had something to do with it, but what exactly happened? Dreams. Yeah. I've had my share of nightmares too. There was this one that plagued me for years. I'd be in some kind of hall, almost like a temple. Only that there were benches and aisles, like in a courtroom. My father sat on the judge's dais, but he was a corpse, and all the spectators and the jury looked like him. Anyway, there was this grotesque trial scene where he accused me of refusing to do my duty for them, and it always ended with his skin melting off like hot wax. But he messed up. I know. Eventually, the dream stopped, though. Someone helped me with that.
Я часик посплю.
But anyway, enough of this gloomy talk for now. We should get some rest. We've still got a long ride ahead of us. Good night.
Спокойный.
Rise and shine, my friend. We have arrived. How'd you sleep?
Ладно, как долго мы путешествовали?
I fell asleep too, but it must have been 7 or 8 hours at least. Very interesting machine, this undertrain. Come on, let's take a look outside.
Идем.
Seems someone has prepared a welcome for us.
Да.
haven't had enough yet? As you wish. Come on. Don't make it so easy.
Приехали. За тобой идти?
Huh?
Ладно, идем, наверное. Или не идем? Что делать-то? Следовать за ним? А он сам никуда не идет? Или идет? Ты идешь? Он в стену убежал. Ладно, будем считать, что так и надо. Оставил меня наедине с пантерами. Злой человек. Ты где? А что ты там забыл? И как мне туда пробраться? Ага. Хорошо. Понятно. Зато ледяной коготь найду. Даже два. Так, куда? Понятно, здесь не разберешься, куда идти. Значит, пойду сюда. Наверное. Или я отсюда пришел. Так, секунду. Так. Окей. Чуть-чуть назад и налево. Сюда куда-то. Нет, это не тот путь, который нужен. Ага, вон их лагерь. Неримский. Хорошо. Надеюсь, он догонит. Кто там вздыхает? Я застрял, судя по всему. Здесь ничего. Они уже и таран готовят. Так, что-то пошло не так. Что-то пошло не так. Куда он подевался? А если снова в пещеру зайти и выйти оттуда? Так, а где она, кстати, находится, эта пещера-то? Ага. Чуть-чуть левее. Так. Вот он, по-моему. Ага. Или это не оно было? Я уже запутался. Не оно. Еще раз. Немного сюда и направо. Вот где-то тут. Ага, вот оно. Очевидно, что-то пошло не так. Надеюсь, в этот раз он не застрял в скале. Похоже, опять застрял. Ладно, ничего не поделаешь. Придется без него идти. Опять эти. Так, здесь патрули. Надо потихонечку пробираться. Я немного не это имел в виду, когда говорил потихоньку. Ну ладно. Там какие-то руины. Может, сюда? Что-то определенно идет не по плану. Ладно, а если так? Почему он застревает? Опять? Ну да, опять застрял. Ладно, еще более раннее сохранение загружу. Скажем, тут.
Seems someone has prepared a welcome for us.
Веди, Джеспар. Только не в... Ну, хотя бы не в стену. Прелесть. Молодец. Наконец-то выбежал там, где надо.
Well, I'll be damned. This is Half Moon Isle. I can't believe it. And I guess that camp over there belongs to Terranor Korak. I suggest we split up. That way we'll still have a chance if they catch one of us. Here, this is your plate. I'll try going in from the east. You should go in from the west. And don't get caught or try to play the hero, alright? Considering that we're up against an entire army, that's a bad idea, even for someone with your abilities.
Хорошо. Пойдем.
We'll meet again here by sunrise.
Удачи тебе. Так, здесь пантера будет. Нет, почему-то нету ее. Странно. Привет. Вы те создания из сна, высшие. Что вам нужно?
But still, you have come a long way. You have ignited the sigil stone, and you will found the beacon. And this, urchin child, this amuses us. Because nothing is more entertaining than a harvest which fights back. It makes things so much more exciting. So here's our offer, Prophet. Ask us whatever is on your mind, and we swear to answer truthfully. Or you can leave. It's up to you.
Ну что же, начнем с вопроса, почему мне хоть на секунду стоит поверить, что вы скажете мне правду.
That's up to you to decide. Come on, urchin. Ask or leave. In the end, you and your people will burn anyway. But sometimes, even the hope for deliverance alone has its merits.
Это машина, Светоч. Что это на самом деле?
It's just what you think it is. A weapon that allows you to bring an end to all this.
Тогда почему вы не боитесь?
Fear, hate, joy. You assume we are thinking in human terms, Prophet. Yet, a true deity is more than a simple human able to throw fireballs, as your late Lightborn were. A true god is a state of being, and its existence alone forms reality according to its will. There were so many before you, and so many have found the weapon, yet still we exist, and the cleansing is imminent. What does this tell you?
Что вы могущественны.
Indeed, we are powerful, and we always will be.
А почему меня сделали посланником? Почему я могу слышать эхо?
We know what you want to hear now, that you are special, that you have always been. But this is not true. You have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. And the truth is, you make our task easier. You are weak.
А зачем неримцы здесь?
They want to destroy the beacon. Amusing, isn't it? They are doing our work for us.
Но почему? Им известно о цикле?
Yes, but they are naive. They believe that the cleansing is a good thing, and that we, the High Ones, have come to raise humanity to a higher stage. Evolution. That is what they call it. Just as the lizard became a dragon, and the bird became a man. Their leader, Taranar Korak, thinks he is one of the emissaries, just like you.
Он так считает? А он и вправду один из посланников?
No, and neither is the old Aronvale. Korak considers himself a savior, chosen to guide humanity to a glorious future. But he does not understand that he is a victim of his own pride. We have never appeared to him like we did to you. You are the only figure of significance in this game, Prophet.
И именно этого вы хотите? Поднять нас на высший уровень?
Are you so blind? We are the envoys of determination, the constant of being, before which time itself bows down. The dream of one long dead, which is about to become reality, and that will lead you to your doom.
У меня больше нет вопросов.
Very well. Now, shoo. Continue your vain search. and forgive us for the pain.
За какую боль?
My lord, he is awake.
Splendid. May I introduce you? To your left, there's Samael, my bodyguard, master of Ostian's arena for decades. And to your right, there's Blade Master Alma Sordan, the most gifted sword fighter of Nerim's north and commander of my troops. Furthermore, there's an entire garrison of elite soldiers outside. So, can I trust you to not do anything stupid? I want to talk to you, face to face, as civilized people do.
Разве у меня есть выбор?
No, not really. By the way, we have captured your friend as well. He's in a tent up in the camp, and we will compare your stories, so you'd better stick to the truth. Samael, take off the blindfold. Well then, I am Taranor of Korek's blood, former ruler of Kabiet, and now representative of the free peoples of Nerim, which you undoubtedly already knew. Who are you?
Вольного народа Нерима?
That is who we are, yes. The civil war is over, and Nerim is once again united, free of tyranny and false gods. We don't follow a monarch anymore, and we do not pray to any idols, unlike people in this country. But we digress. Who are you?
Странник.
I see. And who sent you? And why?
К чему эти вопросы? Вы же все равно собираетесь меня убить.
Actually, no, I won't. Contrary to what you might believe, I am no butcher, and I don't kill for the fun of it. And even though I cannot guarantee you will survive this night, I promise that cooperation will increase your chances drastically. So, who sent you?
Святой Орден. Они хотят знать, зачем вы здесь.
Just as I suspected. And how exactly?
My lord, I think you should see this.
Of course. We have taken the liberty of stripping you of your belongings. If you'll excuse me for a moment, please.
А меч у тебя хороший.
A silver plate. I see. They were sent to spy on us.
Then let's kill them.
No. He was honest, and I am a man of my word. And actually, you have done us a favor. We can use the plates to present Aranthiel with our offer, without putting ourselves in danger.
What? How? What are these plates?
Old artifacts of the Pyreans. Their magic works like a sort of ear conch. Sounds are transferred from one plate to the other. And I strongly suspect that at this very moment, Tealor Aranthiel and Arathzel's traitorous heirs are gathered around the counterpart, waiting for someone to activate this plate, aren't they? Samael, do you know how to use these plates? Excellent. Then activate it. I will talk to old Aranthiel. Let's hope that he will listen for once in his life. Otherwise, this will end in disaster. Tealor Aranthiel, I know that you are there and that you can hear me, so why don't we just stop playing games? As you wish, Grand Master. You can keep quiet, but you should be aware of who's going to pay for your arrogance.
Haven't you had enough war by now? After 2 decades?
2 decades of war that were necessary because your god suppressed the people. Or would you deny even this?
Is that why you wanted to talk to me, Quarek? To throw around accusations?
No, that's not what I wanted. We are talking because I want to give you a chance. We know that you are fighting the High Ones, and that you're trying to reconstruct the beacon in order to stop them.
Which makes perfect sense, since the cleansing means the end of all life. Don't you agree?
No, I don't. And if you even remotely understood who the High Ones actually are, and what they represent, you wouldn't either. They are evolution, the ascendance of humanity to a higher level.
What?
Let's just face the facts for a moment. There's no evidence that the cleansing, whatever shape it will take, will be violent. Yes, the Pyreans are gone, but how do we know they've not just simply gone to another place? That they've transformed? The High Ones are not our enemies, Aranthiel. They are the next step of evolution, the envoys of our purpose, that we might become more than the simple-minded creatures we've been during the past millennia. This is what the cleansing actually is. Don't you understand? It's the moment when humanity is relieved of its vices, united, reaching a higher level of existence.
That's absurd.
To you, it might sound that way, but I have seen it with my own eyes. Ever since the gods departed, the High Ones have sent me dreams in which I can see the future, and it's glorious. It's not our destiny to stay human, Aranthiel. With their help, we will be gods, true gods, not the idols you have worshipped. It's the truth, whether you accept it or not.
Either. People are dying, Koarek. There's war all over Veen. The dead are rising from their graves, and people are killing each other for no apparent reason. Whatever you have dreamed, does this look like some kind of ascension to you?
I know about the red madness, but has it ever occurred to you that it follows a pattern as well? That it only befalls certain people?
Whom?
People whose thinking is in shackles. People whose minds are not free, and who are superstitious and ignorant. Such as the people in your country, to whom you have denied the truth about their gods.
What? Are you saying that the red madness only affects religious people? People who still believe in the Lightborn?
Yes. Religiosity is a pattern of thought that favors irrationality over reason. Someone who thinks in these patterns is simply not ready for the advancement, and the red madness is simply a way to sieve them out. A natural selection, if you will. That's also why you are not affected by it, Aranthiel, because you know that what you and your order fought so hard to keep up over the years were lies.
This is nonsense. There have been cases of red madness in the Order too, and we have seen what the cleansing will bring us in the dreams and in their chronicles, and it has nothing to do with some kind of ascension. Just listen to yourself, Koarek. You talk like a mad prophet. Is that what you want to be?
You react just as I expected. Very well, then. Will you at least hear our offer?
Speak.
The cleansing has to happen, and we, the free peoples of Nerim, will make sure that it does. We will not allow your backward thinking to keep humanity from advancing, as it has done for centuries. Therefore, if you don't want a war, you will stop rebuilding the beacon, and you will tell your people the truth about their gods, so that then they, too, can ascend when the time has come. You've said it yourself, Aranthiel. This world has had enough war. Spare it yet another one.
I would if I could, but if these are your demands, then no.
Then we will have to force you. This means bloodshed, Aranthiel, and innocents will die, and all because...
This conversation is over.
Bloody fool. Alma, prepare the attack. He asked for it.
Yes, my lord. What will happen to the prisoners?
The spies. Right. We're at war now, and this means you're my enemies. But as I said, I am a man of my word, and so I'll leave your fate to chance. Samael, put him to sleep, and then put him and his friend on a raft. If they survive, so be it. If not, fair enough.
Гордыня. Ха-ха-ха. Так. Слишком гордый, чтобы услышать чужую точку зрения. Так, ладно, сделаю, как говорится. Сохранить. Ага. И подождать. Мгм. Так, секундочку, перезапущу сейчас. Славно. Вроде как началось все. Активное действие игры. С этого момента, я думаю, не стоит больше побочный квест выполнять. Где я? Опять этот дом с папочкой. Что ж, посмотрим, что он в этот раз скажет. Что с тобой?
Well, look who's here. How are you doing, silly? Still on the search?
Да, папочка, я думаю, я знаю, где искать.
Is that so? Honestly, I find that a little hard to believe. But I guess you know what you're doing, don't you? You always did. Come on, let's go inside. I've prepared a little surprise. Or should I say a big one? I suppose that depends on how you look at it.
Это что за зомби?
Ta-da-da-da! Look who I dug out. It's Mother and little sister. Aren't they beautiful?
Aren't we beautiful? Aren't we beautiful?
But I suppose what we dead people do doesn't concern you now, does it, my child? Because you are important now. Ha! Can you believe it? He's important now. He is chosen.
Chosen. Chosen.
But you know, I think you've forgotten something. Amidst all this ballyhoo of prophecies, cleansings, and beacons. That you are weak. You are pathetic. You are worthless. And you are weak. That's what you were back then. That's what you are now. And that's what you'll always be. Saving lives? You? Ridiculous. But then again, maybe we do you wrong. So why don't you just tell us? Why you? Why should you, of all people, be the solution to the problem? Why should you be able to prevent something that has happened to mankind for thousands of years? You.
Я не знаю, отец.
That's right. You don't know. Because you are a stupid, dirty brat. A murdering, stupid brat and nothing else. See? You did it again. You made me unhappy. You made me curse. And cursing is a sin. Don't you understand? I'm only trying to help you to see. This is not you, don't you understand? You are not yourself. And deep down inside, you know it as much as I do.
You know it. You know it.
So, tell me, silly, why is it so hard for you to just let go? Your place is here, in the realm of the dead. So just let yourself fall. It only hurts in the beginning, you know? Then it's like falling asleep. Please, my child, we miss you so much. Little sister wants to play with you again.
Play with you. Play with
And the
you.
two of us, we could go hunting again, like back in the old days. Find ourselves a nice deer, and then have a good, juicy piece of meat for dinner. But do you even listen to me? Hey, you're not supposed to leave yet. You're already here. So why don't you just stay? Please, child, stay with us. 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 Stay with us.
Это какой-то хоррор уже пошел.
Stay with me. Hey, can you hear me? Wake up. Bad dreams?
Что, где мы, что произошло?
A lot. We got damn lucky. That raft Korek put us on was about as seaworthy as a paper ship. But thank the sun, that fisherwoman over there took us in. She's headed for Duneville, and we should arrive soon.
Как долго я тут без сознания?
Couple of hours. That spell Korek's mute buddy put on you must have been quite a doozy. They felt the blow to the back of the head would suffice for me. Guess I was the lucky one.
Понятно. А ты слышал, что произошло? Разговор Арантиаля и Корика.
Yeah. That guy should really go easier on the bottle, if you ask me. But it seems that the thousands who follow him see things differently. As if the High Ones alone weren't threat enough. Now they have a self-proclaimed messiah to back them up. That's just peachy.
Я не совсем понимаю, что именно Корик хочет от нас. Уничтожить Светоч?
Well, as I heard it, he thinks the cleansing is evolution. We become higher beings. We ascend to a new level of existence, so to speak. And he thinks the reason for the red madness in Enderal is that people still haven't learned the truth about the death of the Lightborn. They're still superstitious, so the sickness weeds them out. Natural selection. And yeah, it sounds absurd. I guess people always see what they want to see.
Это означает войну. Неримцы вторгнутся на Enderal.
I'm afraid so. According to the fisherwoman, the first of Korak's battleships have already arrived near Duneville. It'll take them a while to get the rest of their fleet over here from Nerimcef, but still. Enderal isn't ready for this. Not at all. Most guards haven't tried their weapons on anything other than training dummies. Or at the most, bandits. In other words, we're screwed.
И что теперь?
Well, I guess first of all, we should be grateful we made it out alive. I bet that if Korak would have known your role in all this, we'd be as dead as doornails by now. Once we arrive in Duneville, we should get back to Ark as soon as possible. I'm sure Arenthiel and the others have already written us off as dead. I suggest you ask the fisherwoman how much farther it is to the village.
А что насчет тебя?
Well, I suppose first of all I'll go get my pay. Regardless of what transpired, we fulfilled our mission. After that, I don't know. War is an entirely different story, and ending up beaten to a pulp with a damned warhammer certainly isn't on my priority list.
Так значит, ты собираешься сбежать?
Maybe. The Order might be powerful here in Enderal, but compared to Nerim's army, it's a joke. And maybe... On the other hand, if we don't manage to stop the cleansing from happening, it won't make a difference if I'm here or on Calais. Oh, my, what did I get myself into? I feel like a bloody marionette in a goddamn play.
Что ж, это твой выбор.
I know. You know, there's one thing I just couldn't get out of my head since all this started. Does mankind deserve to be saved? I mean, have we as a species really made this world a better place? What have we accomplished apart from bloodbaths and wars in the name of the true gods or the right way to see things? And even now that we have a common enemy, we fail spectacularly to pull together. That's pathetic somehow, isn't it? Just pathetic. Heck, I sound like the biggest cynic alive. Let's stop here before it gets any worse. Go talk to the fisherwoman.
Хорошо. Кстати говоря, сам-то ты как? Выглядишь каким-то обеспокоенным.
You're really curious, aren't you? But yes, there is something that troubles me apart from the obvious. It's my sister.
Адила, а что с ней?
Well, I told you that we haven't talked much since, you know, since the thing with our family happened. A couple of moons before we met, I wanted to change that, and I went to see her at the League of the Apothecary in the Frostcliff Mountains. But she was gone, just like that, and no one knew where she went. It's been troubling me for quite some time now. It's probably nothing, but still, I'm worried.
Понятно.
Ah, you're awake. How are you? No offense, but you look battered.
Я полагаю, неплохо, учитывая обстоятельства. Благодарю вас за спасение.
Don't thank me. I only did what every other path-abiding citizen would have done as well. Your friend, he told me about the Nerimese. War. I have trouble believing it.
Это правда, но Орден защитит вас.
Huh. From your lips to Malthus's ears. Those bloody Nerimese. Nothing is sacred to them anymore, is it? For millennia there was peace between the lands of the civilized world. And now this. They're heretics, if you ask me. No more and no less. They should be hung from trees, all of them. Anyway, I guess it's best if you rest a little more. As I said, you look as though you need it. I'll wake you up when we arrive.
А ты одна эту лодку водишь в плавание? Сильная женщина.
We'll do our best. I didn't think I'd ever say this, but right now I'd give a lot for the Art Guard to be here instead of these Duneville watchdogs. At least they know how to wage a war. In any case, you should get back to the Sun Temple as soon as possible and show those Nerimese bastards whose country this is.
We will. And again, thanks for your help.
Don't mention it.
So, we should be back within range of the teleport runes. I'm gonna head straight back to the temple. See you there.
А мне свиток не дашь? Ладно, придется самому.
really. I can't believe we were stupid enough to sail right into it.
Why stupid? Only no talent said it.
Еще с Калией поговорить можно сразу. Так. Привет.
Saira, good to see you. I heard about what happened on Half Moon Island. It's a wonder you and that mercenary made it back alive. But war, it just seems so unreal. How has it come to this? Now we not only have to fight these High Ones, but also some fanatic who thinks he knows best?
Так. Корик, кажется, очень убежден, что его действия правильны. Почти похоже на то, что Высшие используют его.
If they are, then maybe we were foolish to think that the Red Madness is the only weapon at their disposal. Tell me, Saira, how is it possible that our beliefs about what's best for mankind are so different? Why are we so eager to be at each other's throats?
Такие мы люди, и я сомневаюсь, что это в ближайшее время изменится.
I'm not sure. You know what I find so hard to understand? Why there are so few people who actually care. So few people who feel the need to change something like you and I do. There are moments I just feel so powerless. As if we all know that if we keep going like this, we're headed for a catastrophe. But instead of changing course, we just stand by and watch. Do you know the feeling?
Имеешь в виду, что не понимаешь, почему столь многие люди такие равнодушные?
Yes, I mean, is it so hard to see that this world could be such a better place if we'd only care a tiny bit more about something other than what's happening in front of our doorsteps? You understand what I'm trying to say, don't you? You know that feeling too.
Да, слишком хорошо.
I thought so. Whenever I think about it, I find it so hard not to get angry. Take all those upper city snobs with their colorful garments and exotic perfumes. They could put all that money to such good use if only they wanted to, but no, they don't, because they just don't give a damn about the poor. Sometimes I imagine going down there, grabbing one of them by the collar and dragging them down into the Undercity, and there I'd force them to see, just for once. But even that probably wouldn't help. I guess we only care about the things that directly affect us. Who fights against poverty if he's never suffered from it?
Ты сражаешься, и это восхитительно.
No, it's not. It should be what everyone does. And once again, you've had to listen to another deluge of my whining. I guess I'm just not a person for pleasantries. Sorry.
Не стоит, мне нравятся наши разговоры.
Saira, I have to ask you something. You said these things to me. Why?
Вещи.
Compliments. Comments that you... I don't know how to put it.
Потому что Ты мне нравишься. Это проблема?
No, but I just don't think that's a good idea.
Почему нет?
I'm not made for things like that. I've never felt the need for them, and honestly, I think it's dangerous. At least for me.
Никогда не чувствовал нужды? То есть ты хочешь сказать, что у тебя не было никаких чувств к кому-нибудь?
No, never.
Прости, просто я не понимаю. Почему ты считаешь, что мы не должны этого делать?
Because you know a lot about me, Saira, and I appreciate our contact, which is the only reason I just told you all of this. So please, respect my wishes. Let's leave it at that for now. We've still got a lot to do. The first of Quarak's ships will reach shore soon, and we have to be prepared.
Ладно. Спокойной ночи.
Greetings.
Да, тяжелые времена.
Yes. Damn those Nerimcef fools. This is madness.
But that's ridiculous. We have to at least try to negotiate.
You know his demands. There's no basis for negotiation.
He has not seen what we have seen. The writings, the memories of the Prophet. If he just realized...
My dams? My sirs?
Shit. What took you so long? And where is Constantine?
That's a long story.
And those were his final words? I can't believe it.
Simply another victim of the High Ones. If we do not activate the beacon soon, he won't be the last.
Oh, right. The beacon. If it's activated, we'll simply glow the red madness away, won't we? Or maybe we could, for once in all this, do something that actually makes sense and focus our resources on finding an alchemistical or thaumaturgical solution to this problem, rather than trusting in a pile of scrap metal.
Oh, by the Prophet's ass, won't you just shut up for a minute? All day long you do nothing but babble, getting on our nerves, and nothing you ever say gets any closer to a fucking solution. So why don't you just shove off to one of the bathhouses? Go torture the washerwomen with your never-ending lamentations. That would be helpful for a change.
You will take that back.
Will I? Come here and make me. I'd be delighted.
Blasphemy.
Guard your
This
tongue,
is blasphemy.
wild mage, or...
Or what? Are you gonna kill me? That's what you do best, you and your fucking order.
Silence! You are angry, Lishari Pegast, and I understand why. But in the moment you let that anger destroy this alliance, Firespark's sacrifice will have been in vain. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
No. No, it isn't.
Good. I am tired of this endless bickering. We have a responsibility, and we will fulfill it.
Well said, Aranthio. And how exactly do you think we are going to do that? Without the sources, the beacon is as worthless as a heap of rusty iron.
The chroniclers are on it, and they will find the answer. Novice, tell Commander Aaron to join us. We need to plan the defense of the land. You, Prophet, will come to me as soon as you have recovered. Now, let us get to work.
Да я, собственно, готов.
Please, Tilor, Jorik is right. A war with Nerim, this is madness.
I know that it is going to be tough, but we have no choice. The beacon is all that we have.
Yes, the beacon, the beacon, the beacon. We don't even know what this thing does, let alone if it will work. If you start a war only because of that damn machine, it means putting the lives of thousands at risk, only because of some vague idea. This is ludicrous, Taylor. It's entirely irrational. The man I knew would never have acted like this.
Yes, because that man is dead. I've made decisions driven by fear and selfishness before, and they were always wrong. I will not let that happen again. Seriously, Natara, stop acting as if this were about reason. You're just afraid of making sacrifices for what you believe in. You always were.
Sacrifices. This is about your damn pride, Taylor. Nothing else.
Как там говорилось у этого старца, гордость была моим.
The sun be praised, you've made it. Constantine, he didn't deserve this. It's just not fair.
Гордость была моей погибелью, или как-то так. Он действовал так, будто одержим, а возможно, его разум не выдержал всего этого.
Then none of us are strong enough. Yeah, Constantine wasn't exactly the most approachable fellow, but he was a damn skilled mage. I have to talk to you as soon as possible. It's about the seal in that letter we found on the mercenaries in Old Rashengrad. I believe I'm onto something.
Правда? И...
Their client is from Enderal. From Ark, to be more precise. Let's not talk here, though. Meet me in the Dancing Nomad. I'll be in the first room upstairs, right at the end of the staircase. And hurry.
К чему такая секретность?
Well, why do you think? Come to the Dancing Nomad after you've spoken with Oranthiel. See you there.
Хорошо. И внутренние, и внешние враги. О чем вы говорили? Я про ваш спор с Натарой в обители.
Irrelevant. This madman, Koarek. He has completely reshuffled the cards. Now we not only have to deal with the High Ones, but also with him and his fanatics. However, there's also good news. You have probably seen it already.
Вам удалось восстановить Светоч.
Physically, yes. And we also know how it works now. And how it can put an end to the cycle.
И как?
It is easier than we thought. The beacon was constructed for one thing, to destroy the High Ones. Once reconstructed, infused with energy and activated, lit, as the Pyreans called it, it can banish the High Ones from this plane of existence.
Уничтожить их? И как это должно сработать? Высшие...
Immaterial, indeed. Essentially, they can be compared to the cold or to shadows. Omnipresent elements, yet we cannot touch them. Energy, if you will. However, there is a counterpart to each energy. Cold and fire, shadow and light. The High Ones and the beacon.
То есть вы хотите сказать, что Светоч в своем роде это противоположность высшим?
Yes. Imagine a torch driving away the darkness in the moment it is ignited. This is what the beacon can do, except that the banishing will be permanent.
Звучит неплохо. Так что нам мешает его зажечь? Шарим упоминал источники.
Yes, as I said, it needs to be infused with energy before it can be lit. I take it you have noticed the 3 sockets on its base. They are what it draws its power from. Once they are filled, the beacon can be ignited and the High Ones will be undone, once and for all. At least, if the old writings are true. The only thing left for us to find out is what these energy sources are. But we are close. Give the Arcanists some more time and I will let you know if there's any news. In the meantime, get equipped accordingly. Some of the Nerimces have landed already, and outbreaks of the Red Madness become more and more frequent as we speak.
Так.
Prophet.
Уже неоднократно мне приходилось слышать, как Тручесса говорила о том, что произошло в Кире. Что именно она имела в виду?
Well, it's only fair to tell you. You've always been honest to me, so I will do the same. Have you ever heard of the Night of the Thousand Fires?
Немного.
Between 8,192 and 8,202, there was an underground movement in Kira called the Red Half Moon. They were brought into being by a group of intellectuals and philosophers who, under all the freedom of thought Saldrine granted them, started questioning the reign of the Golden Queen, and thus the Lightborn themselves.
Свободы мысли, дарованной им Салдрином. Что вы имеете в виду?
Saldrine saw himself as the god of knowledge, and accordingly he reigned his country. In Kira, no opinion is forbidden, which is why it is home to countless magic schools and universities, where people do nothing but discuss the reason for being all day long. An appealing thought if you hear it for the first time, but a cunning people isn't easy to reign. There have been more revolts and riots in Kira than bones in a graveyard, and the Red Half Moon was the worst of them.
Так значит, этот красный полумесяц пытался пресечь правление богов, прямо как ваш сын, верно?
Correct, just as my son did. But other than him, they fought like cowards. Terror, dust crystals planted in the marketplaces, and assassinations, you name it. If they killed innocents, they blamed the Golden Queen, and if they killed her soldiers, they celebrated themselves as liberators. However, they never succeeded in putting her down, and neither did she in destroying them, which is why the court turned to the Lightborn for help. A division of the Holy Order led by me, a young keeper of barely 30 winters.
Значит, Зачем вам было проделывать такой путь из самого Эндерала? У Ордена не было бастиона в Кире?
None to be taken seriously. You know, not everywhere is the Order as present as here on Enderal, or as it once was on Nerim. In Kira, we were ridiculed. I saw the Kiranian keepers who served the Golden Queen. A bunch of decadent gluttons who had dedicated themselves to the court's banquets rather than to the will of the gods. They were pathetic.
Понятно. И что же произошло?
A moon after our arrival, we received an anonymous tip on where one of the half-moon spaces was supposed to be located, in a small coastal village. As we entered it, we were greeted by the township's elders, and the villagers themselves had gathered behind them. You should have seen how they stared at us, as if we were plunderers. I should have seen by then that something was wrong.
Попробую угадать. Все это было спланировано?
That's what they wanted us to think, and they did a good job at that. A veiled person here, an archer on the rooftops there. I got nervous, because villagers are not, they bested us in numbers, and they had kettled us. Then a man seemed to charge at us, and I gave the order to draw weapons. It was just the spark they needed.
И начался бой.
No, not a fight. A massacre. The villagers had pitchforks and shepherd staffs, and we had shadow steel swords, let alone the fact that we were trained warriors. I realized that I had made a mistake a split second after it started, but it was too late by then. My men, they slaughtered them all, like pigs. At the end of the day, 300 people were dead, and only 10 of them were keepers.
И что, вы ничего не могли сделать, чтобы остановить этот бой?
Have you ever been in a big battle? Even if my men would have stopped, the villagers were blinded with rage and panic. No. From the moment I gave the order, it was too late.
Так значит, это все было подстроено красным полумесяцем. Теперь понимаю, но зачем? Зачем им понадобилось уничтожение целого поселения?
Well, what better proof of the Lightborn's cruelty is there than a division of keepers who, out of pure wickedness, slaughtered an entire village, women, children included. If the people had already distrusted us before that, that distrust had turned into hatred, and nothing could have changed that, not even the Golden Queen's heralds. We set sail back to Enderal a week later. 2 years after that, the Red Half-Moon destroyed itself due to infighting. Ironic, isn't it?
Вам следовало сохранять спокойствие.
I should have, yes. The Lightborn and the Grandmaster back at that time showed the compassion I wouldn't grant myself. But I learned one thing, and that is that I will never again let fears about my own life influence my decisions. What happened in Kira was the consequence of my own cowardice, and my unwillingness to give my life for a just cause. That will never happen again.
Мне нужно кое-что вам сказать. Там, на острове Полумесяц, высшие сказали мне кое-что. Таранор Куарек тоже считает себя одним из посланников Мессии.
Really? That's interesting. Provided this is true, that means that the emissaries aren't just people who fight the cleansing. They are people who fight for it too. And that also means that whoever granted us our powers and our purpose isn't an enemy of the High Ones, but a neutral party.
Не обязательно. Высшие также сказали, что Куарек ошибается и что он на самом деле не посланник. Так же, как и вы.
I beg your pardon.
Ну, если верить высшим, Куарек считает себя посланником лишь из желания быть важным.
What? And the same goes for me? That's ridiculous. They wanted to deceive you, to sow discord. I saw the threat the cleansing posed before anyone else did. And without me, we would have never come that far. Something changed inside me since I fled from my prison. I feel it. And it is the same thing that made you a part of all this. Now, enough of this.
Гордость и эгоизм никуда не ушли. Это плохо. Чувствую, это еще сыграет свою роль. Так. Это плохо. Ладно, пора с Лишарой встретиться. Это где? В квартале чужеземцев? Надо полагать.
My sir?
You just wait and see. Fucking sissy.
Так.
Evening.
Первая дверь. И... Ой. Что... Что за...
Prophet, are you in there? Gerard, what? Why? What have you done?
Могу спросить тебя о том же. Странное совпадение, что ты здесь.
Watch your tongue, Shari. Be glad that the blood is already dry, or else you'd be nothing but a pile of bones by now. Forgive me. I just can't believe it. Anyone but Lashari? Yes, I know, Nea. But she was a good woman. We both know that we're not involved in this. So please tell me why you and Lashari wanted to meet up here? Were the two of you close? It's been a while since there was a man at Lashari's side.
Да, она не хотела, чтобы ты знал.
I see. Who has killed her then? This doesn't make any sense. Maybe the murderer has left a clue. We have to search.
Действительно, что ты здесь делаешь? Зараза, а?
What's this? Let me see. Yes, this could be our clue.
Бутылка светопыли? А она не может принадлежать Лишаре?
No, certainly not. But come to think about it, it doesn't really help us either. There are so many dust addicts in Ark, it would take years just to count them. Oh, by the name of the sun, I will inform the order.
А мы не должны продолжать искать?
Yes, you do that. But come back to the temple as soon as you're finished, all right? The Archmagister has found something out about those sources we need for the beacon, even though he paid a high price for it.
I just don't see the fucking.
Кто же тебя убил? Так, здесь больше ничего нет. Может, какой-нибудь дневник? Нет? Увы, нет. Ладно. Все хуже и хуже становится. Этого еще не хватало. Кто ее мог убить? Наверняка она узнала что-то такое, чего не стоило узнавать, и хотела поделиться этим, но не успела. Печально. Печально. Получается, из неримских магов только этот остался. Карим, по-моему, его зовут.
If it isn't the prophet, what's wrong? You look troubled.
Лишари, она мертва. Кто-то убил ее.
I know. Shah Rim has already told me. I hardly knew her, but it's horrible. different ideologies or not, she was a fine young mage, and her knowledge of the Pyreans was impressive. We need to find the ones who did this, and fast. But you probably already know that. Thank Malphus we just had a breakthrough with the beacon.
Да, Юслан рассказал мне об этом. Значит ли это, что теперь мы знаем, чего не хватает?
At least as far as the sockets go, yes. In the old tablets you found in old Dothugrat, there's talk of black embers, which are supposed to be some kind of energy supply for the machine.
Черные угли. Есть какие-нибудь догадки относительно того, что это такое?
This is what we've been asking ourselves over the past few weeks, and then it fell like pelt from our eyes. The Pyreans were talking about the Black Pearls, old jewels, sometimes known as Blackstones. They appeared for the first time in the Golden Era, and every self-important noble literally fought to get one in his possession. Apparently they originated from Stormwind, the old city in the heart of Arctwind. They changed owners for decades, sometimes by violence, sometimes by gold. The whole thing only stopped when the owners took note of an undesirable side effect, if you like.
Дай угадаю, на этих камнях лежит некое проклятие?
No, at least not with any known magic. And that's what's so strange about it. Nevertheless, all of their owners eventually shared the same fate. Countess Catua from Nerim, for example, whose castle burnt down to its foundations. According to a survivor of this tragedy, she was to blame for that. He claimed that he saw her the night it happened, laughing hysterically and dancing in the dining room and summoning waves of fire all around her.
А ничего, что у тебя книга... Может, ты руку опустишь? Выходит, что эти драгоценности каким-то образом дают своим владельцам магическую силу?
Correct. Plus, all of them eventually showed similar symptoms of delusion, like those possessed by the Red Madness do. A peculiar coincidence, if you ask me.
Это лишь одно из объяснений. А какой вывод можно сделать из того, что было сказано, что камни были прокляты?
Not quite.
Those who owned a pearl tried to get rid of it, or look it up somewhere safe, and eventually they fell into oblivion.
Ты не подкрадывайся так.
Your theory, Archmagister.
Yes, of course. We believe that the stones carry energy, pure, uncontrolled magic, and that the High Ones use them for their own purposes.
Вы считаете, что Высшие используют эти жемчужины, чтобы намеренно вводить людей в безумие?
Correct. The pearls' magic make their owners powerful, but the High Ones befoul them, so to speak. Like a poisoned potion. I know it sounds odd, but the parallels are too striking to ignore. The red shimmer in the victim's eyes, the slow descent into madness, and ultimately this irrational, destructive act of violence.
Но ведь все это происходило столетия назад, не так ли? Мне казалось, Высшие появляются лишь прямо перед очищением, разве нет?
That's what we thought too, but it seems we were wrong. Maybe the High Ones never leave our planes at all, even after the cleansing. Maybe they're even part of this world, just like the tides or the elements. And the death of the gods is only what really sets them rolling, so to speak.
Понимаю. И вы думаете, что магия этих черных камней может дать Светочу нужную ему энергию?
That's what we think, yes. Nothing else in this world possesses that much raw power.
Which is why you will find them for us.
Но если Высшие отравили эти камни, разве не опасно приносить их сюда?
No. Because we know what we are dealing with, unlike those who fell victim to the stones. Imagine them as a powerful, magical sword. A fool won't know how to wield it and will eventually cut himself with it. A seasoned warrior, however, can use its power for his purposes. Which doesn't mean, however, that we will be careless with them. What we need is their energy, and once we have transferred that to the beacon, their shells will be useless to the High Ones.
Но как именно мы их отыщем? Разве вы сами не сказали, что они разбросаны по всему Вину?
That's right, but we don't need all of them. The beacon has 3 sockets, and that is how many of the stones we will acquire. Archmagister.
I studied the history of the pearls as a young arcanist, and I think that my notes might give you some hints as to where you should start looking. Give me until tomorrow. By then I will have prepared the relevant excerpts.
Хорошо, мне нужно что-нибудь еще знать.
Just come to me whenever you have questions.
And hurry. I take it you have already noticed this, but Nerimcev's troops are roaming our land and building outposts. The red madness is also getting worse as we speak. Now go, Prophet. The sooner we find these stones, the better.
Да. Так. Здесь кровати нет. Мне нужна кровать. Ладно. Нет, так нет. Я полагаю, это школа. Да, отлично. Здесь поспать можно будет. А это кто? Просто Барт.
Transcribe verse 80 100 times. Sky can rain fire. Magisters never change. When Malphus ordered them to come along.
Занято. Здесь тоже занято. А в подвале свободные кровати есть? Опа. Какие люди.
Yes.
Кровать, кровати. Самый дефицитный товар в Эндерале. Так. Написано было жилые помещения, но это больше на баню похоже. Никаких кроватей нет. Пум-пум-пум-пум-пум. Так, это выход.
Well met.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Святилище. Может, тут? Так. Нет, нет. Надо выше, наверное. Или ниже. Так, это не то. Тоже не то. Плохо дело. Никаких кроватей. Ладно, что ж поделать. Придется в таверне ночевать. Так, бармен. Я ищу комнату на ночь.
And our room's looking for you. It's no Ark Noble quarter, but it's warm and clean. Want it?
Да.
Good. We'll open up the room for you. And please, no shady business. We walk the righteous path in here and don't want any trouble.
Да у вас там уже сделали все, что можно было. Ни за что, ни про что девушку ножом в пресс, в живот. Эх, лишари, лишари.
Yes?
Prophet?
Yes? Hello.
Вы собрали необходимые записи?
Ah, yes. Here. There they are. I've marked the most relevant parts so you don't have to read the entire book. Just see if they tell you anything that could give you a clue as to where you should start searching. I will be waiting at the beacon.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
Так, записи. Сначала с Джеспаром, наверное, схожу. Но это уже будет в следующей серии. Что ж, друзья, всем спасибо за просмотр. Не болейте, успехов и до новых встреч!